Hi, kindergarten. It's Mrs. Anderson. So we are going to make a Lent cross. Lent is our time of waiting. We're talking about Jesus going to the cross to die for our sins and all the yuck that we do. And a lot of times in Lent, we see the color purple. We see that the cross is kind of surrounded in black. And the good news is then on Easter morning, when Jesus rises from the dead, we see bright colors like the joy of heaven. And so right now we'll make a cross that's more on the darker purple side. And then after Easter, we'll make a bright, colorful cross. So the materials that we'll need today, you should have in your folder for Tuesday. There should be a piece of black paper, a white cross like this, a bag with some colored purple squares, and then a glue stick. So it's a pretty simple project. I'm not going to do all of it with you right now, but I'm going to just kind of get you started and show you how to do it. So I've taken out a couple of my purple squares, a bunch of them. And then what you're going to do, now I think there's two ways you can do your project today. So you want to make sure that you cover all the black lines. It's okay to not stay in the line. So you don't have to take your squares and line them up perfect. So you can kind of overlap the black line, because you'll notice in mine, you'll see that it's not perfect. We're not making a pattern. You can if you'd like, but we just kind of have them all overlaying on top of each other. So in order to do that, you're going to use your glue stick. If you'd rather use a glue bottle, you can. It'll just take a lot longer to dry. So for the first couple ones, I go ahead and I put some glue on the paper. And sometimes I put a little bit more as I go, and I'm just kind of holding the glue in one hand. Now notice if I put this purple on here, it's not going to have glue on all of it. So I kind of go back and put a little bit of glue. You're going to use a lot of glue on this project, so that's why I gave you a whole new one. So it's okay if you use a lot of glue. Now you could also, I thought it was kind of easier when I was doing it to put a little bit of glue on the square, and then I just put the square on. That went kind of faster for me too, so I made sure that the squares had enough glue on them and they were going to stick really well. So you'll see that I'm overlapping. That's kind of an art term that we use a lot. So I'm overlapping and putting them on. You'll notice I see some white there. So I'm going to take my next one. I put a little glue on it, and then I can pick it up, put it over, then take some purple. So all of these are different shades of purple, right? Or we call it violet is also the color for that. So you're going to do the whole cross. I'm just going to do a little bit right now to kind of show you what you're going to do. And you can be doing it as I'm doing it. So I'm covering up as much as I can. Now let's see. I'm going to go here. And then just keep going with that. So I'm going to stop putting mine on right now. You can pause and keep doing yours, or you can just pause and watch me, pause yourself and watch me. So here's one that I finished already. So it's done. But what I want to do now is you want to cut it out. So if you want to ask an adult to help you, you could ask an adult to help you cut it out too. But I can kind of still see where some of my black lines are. And even if I can't, I'm just kind of cutting out my cross, right? So even if I can't see where the black line is, I can kind of guess that it's going to probably stop about right there. And then remember, don't turn your hand, turn your paper. Go ahead and get that. And then here, I can see that I've got to cut here, and then here. And then, it looks like I need to cut more in there, right? Here we go. Remember, turn the paper. Turn the paper. Go like this. Oops, I think I'm not quite on my line. And that's okay if you're not perfectly on your line, just so that you get across when you're done, right? I think the cool thing about these crosses is how you overlap them. So I love that. And so some of these might be a little hard to cut, but I think most of you have strong enough hands that can do it. And then I'm going to cut the bottom part off. So then I can sweep that into the garbage. And so there's my cross. So now the easy part is just to take your black paper and position where you're going to want to put it. And then turn it over, and you can use glue stick or glue bottle. I'm going to go around the edge like I was tracing the cross. Remember, I told you, you're going to use a lot of glue on this, so it's okay if you use up a lot of this glue stick. We gave you a little one because we knew it's a little bit easier to control the little one, isn't it, sometimes? So then once I've got enough glue on that, right, I'm going to turn it over and put it where I positioned it. Press it down. If you want, you could even turn it over and put a book on top of it maybe to kind of hold it to make sure it glues down. Like if I turned it over and pressed it like that, it might make it stay down better. And then you have a beautiful cross. You could hang it in your window at home. You could hang it on a wall at home. So this is a great reminder of this time of our season of Lent, where we're talking about that road that Jesus takes, not the real road, but his journey to the cross for us so that we can all live in heaven someday. I hope you have fun making your project. I can't wait to see some pictures of it. God's blessings to you guys. And remember, I miss you so much. Take care.